Alright guys, you're probably watching this because you didn't pass your skills test on topic 10. So I'm going to go through with you the topic 10 level 1 teaching tool. If you haven't already, you should have picked up this skills or this level 1 teaching tool worksheet from the bin if you didn't get a 70% or higher. Very first thing you need to do is make sure you put your name and your core at the top. And then we're going to go ahead and start measuring out these angles from the protractors. Now this is from topic 10-1. So I'm going to help you find the measurement of each angle. So if you look here at the blue angle, first thing you should notice that that's an acute angle. Now because it's an acute angle, you should automatically know that it's going to be an angle that is less than 90 degrees. So you'll be looking at the bottom numbers from the protractor. Since you're looking at the bottom numbers, if you look there, starting from 0, you'll see that the angle moves all the way up till it's in between 30 and 40 degrees. Because it's in between 30 and 40 degrees, it is safe to say that this angle is 35 degrees. So here you're going to put 35 degrees. Okay, then you're going to move on to 2. It says to find the measure of the angle. If you look, the angle is red in this one. Right, starting again from 0, you'll notice that this angle is also an acute angle, which means that it has to be less than 90. So once again, you'll be looking at the bottom numbers because those are the numbers that are less than 90 degrees. So going up, starting from 0 all the way, you'll see that this line goes in between 60 and 70 degrees. So that means that this angle is approximately 65 degrees. So you would write 65 degrees here. Okay. Then we can go ahead and move on to question 3. Now question 3 has several different questions here. It looks like it goes on to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 questions, all referring to this top picture here. All right, so it wants you to go ahead for this very first one to measure the angles of angle UZV and angle TZU. So I will go ahead and draw those angles out for you. If I just look at UZV, that means I'm just looking at UZV. And just like always, I'm not very good at drawing straight lines, so you guys can understand that. Okay, then I will also be looking at angle TZU. So that means I'd be looking at TZU. So really, you're looking at this line going all the way up to this line. Now, if you look, and it's kind of hard to tell because I just drew those blue lines there, so I'm going to go ahead and erase everything I drew and just strictly look from this point, and here was 0. So we're looking all the way from here to here. Now, if you look, it doesn't go directly to the 90-degree mark. It looks like it's in between 90 and 100, or if you look 80 and 90. Now, this is an acute angle again because it is less than 90. Which means that you're looking at the lower numbers. So the number in between 80 and 90, I would say that the measure between those two is 85 degrees. So you would put 85 degrees. Then it says, are UZV and TZU complementary or supplementary or neither? So if you added those two angles up, do they add up to equal 90 degrees, which is complementary? Do they add up to equal 180 degrees, or is it neither? Well, since you just said that it is 85 degrees, that should tell you it's not complementary or supplementary, so you should write neither. Okay, next thing that you need to do is to add the measures of QZR and RZS. So I will go ahead and do that in a different color so that you can see it. So QZR, and RZS. So once again, RZ, and if you look at S, that means we're going from this line all the way up to S. And right away, you should see that S from 0 all the way up goes directly to a 90-degree angle. So those two measures together will equal 90 degrees, which means for the next question, it says, are they complementary, supplementary, or neither? If you receive a compliment, that means that you've done something right. And that means that it is 90 degrees. So you can say that that is a complementary angle because they add up to equal 90 degrees. Okay. All right, the next one is QZS and VZS. So if we go to QZS, oh, looks like it goes up to the 90 again, and VZS. All right, so they both end up on the same line and the same vertex, but don't overlap each other, creating adjacent angles. That means that they are next to each other. And we already said that QZS was 90 degrees. So that means that if I add 90 degrees and 90 degrees, those should both add up to equal 180 degrees, which would also tell you that that is a supplementary angle. So you would put supplementary. So now that you've answered all of those questions, you can move down to question 6 and 7. It's saying angle G and H are supplementary. If angle G is 80 degrees, then angle H has to be what? Well, supplementary adds up to equal 180 degrees, which means all you have to do is do 180 minus 80 degrees. So if you subtract those two, you should get 100 degrees for angle H. Then if you look at angles M and N, they are complementary. Complementary means you've done something right, which means it adds up to equal 90 degrees. So if M is 20 and they add up to equal 90, you just have to subtract to figure it out. 90 minus 20 is 70 degrees. So you guys have now completed the front part of your page and you can move on to the back part. Looks like we've just got a couple more questions here. So to find the complement of 45 degrees, once again, receiving a complement means you've done something right, which is 90 degrees. So 90 minus 45 would give you 45 degrees. Supplementary means it adds up to equal 180 because it's a straight line. So you're going to have to do 180 minus 65. You also have to borrow. So 10 minus 5 is 5, 7 minus 6 is 1, 1 minus 0 is 1. So the supplementary angle is 115 degrees. Number 6, it says find the value of x by using algebra. So if you look here, they give you this angle right here, which tells you it's 48 degrees. And then this angle right here is 3x. Those are what we call vertical angles. Because those are vertical angles, you know that you can set them equal to each other because they are the same. That's from topic 10-5, the one I just taught you on Friday. So since they are vertical, they're equal to each other. Your expression would be 48 is equal to 3x. And then from topic 8, you should know in order to get x by itself, you have to do the inverse operation, which is dividing both sides by 3. When you do 48 divided by 3, you get x equals, 3 goes into 4 once, with 1 left over. 3 goes into 18 6 times, so x is equal to 16 degrees. Okay, only a few more questions left. We're going to go down to questions 7, 8, 9, and 10. So for question 7, it looks like we have to find the value for x again. You know that a full circle should add up to equal 360 degrees. So if this is 150 degrees, you can figure out the reflex angle. So 360 minus your 150 degrees will then tell you that that reflex angle is 210 degrees. Then the number 8, it says which angles are adjacent. Remember, adjacent means that it shares the same side and the same vertex. So adjacent to angle Q, and it says which angles is or are, which means there could be one or just more than one. So if you look, the ones that are adjacent share the same side and vertex would be this angle, and the same side and vertex would be this angle. So I would say angles T and angle R are adjacent to angle Q. They have to share the same side and vertex. Okay, then question 9, if Angle DUC is 165 degrees. So DUC, that means this whole thing is 165. All right, and then it says that QUC, or I'm sorry, KUC, which is just this angle, is 70. Can you figure out what just this angle is? Well, if you figure out the blue, you know the whole thing has to equal 165, and you already have 70 degrees of it. So all you have to do is 165 minus that 70 to figure out the remaining, which leaves you with 5 left over. You can't do 6 minus 7, so you have to borrow. So that remaining angle, or the remaining degrees, is 95 degrees. Okay, and then the last question, you get on to number 10. It's got 2 parts. It says answer the following questions about the figure to the right. It says which angles are adjacent to angle 2. So here is angle 2. The ones that are adjacent or share the same side and vertex are angle 1, side, and vertex. So I would put angle 1. And don't forget the other side. This angle right here shares the same side and vertex. So I would say and angle 3. Then wants to know which angle is vertical to angle 1. Vertical means the opposite, and I've kind of already shown it there in purple. The angle that is vertical, or the exact same angle as angle 1, is angle 3. So if you have any questions on any of those questions that we went over on your level 1 worksheet, bring it up to me to get it checked by either me or Miss Wood. Once you've completed all of the worksheet and I've checked it and you understand it, you will be ready to do the retake.